there guys, it's Kevski here and I'm back today with a little bit different style of video for World of Tanks. First of all, this is going to be a garage update, and then there's going to be a montage at the end of some artillery games. So just I'll put a thing on the screen like now where you want to just skip to the artillery mashing, clicking, booming. But yeah, basically I'm going to do a short garage update, basically take you through all of my tanks that I'm upgrading right now, and then I'm going to transfer over to a quick artillery game. Well, it's actually a sequence of like 6 artillery games, but it's just going to be to make up for the lack of explosions that I have in the garage, pretty much. So first of all, let's start at the beginning, shall we? Right, I've got the 110 now fully upgraded with like all the engine stats, everything's fully. I've managed to get a mark of excellence on it as well. It's a pretty decent tank. This gun is phenomenal. It just goes through pretty much everything, and then when it doesn't go through something, you can just like wait a second, fire it again, and it'll go through something. Yeah, it's a brilliant tank. It's just sometimes if you come up against a player that doesn't know how to face this tank, you'll bounce them all the time. But as soon as players know how to kill you, they're just all over you. You know, there's weak spots down here. If you make it so that you're looking like this onto this plate, you know, it's just a flat surface and you go bang straight into it. So yeah, same with this side. The side armor, rear armor, and other side armor is just pants. The turret is pants. This horrible slope on the turret, you'd usually think that would enable you to bounce shots. It's actually quite the opposite. Something hits you in this area, you are done for. That's your loader or your gunner taken out like straight away. It's not great. Anywho, moving on. AMX 1375, brilliant scout tank. However, the reload between clips is a bit piss poor, not gonna lie. 15 seconds for 6 shots that you're probably not gonna pen with anyway. It's just a bit pants. But as a scout tank, the view range is huge. That is with coated optics, but the view range is 438. If I get Brothers in Arms trained up in here instead of camo, then I'll be able to fucking see all the way to the max view range. It's brilliant little scout tank. Quite good as a like a surprise attacker as well. If you can get behind enemy targets that have very little armor, you can just shove shell after shell after shell after shell into the back of them, and then just run away when you're reloading. It's pretty much how you're doing it. Anyway, I'm fairly close to the 1390, and I'm gonna get that fairly soon. VK30M, Dravian, someone I usually play with. He said to me, right, we need to do a line that we've never done before, and I was like, okay, German mediums are pretty low for me, and he was like, oh, okay, fair enough, we'll go German mediums. Right, okay then, let's do that. And we've got as far as tier 6, which is this VK3002M. Don't think it's quite fully upgraded yet. Yeah, I've still got the turret and engine mods to get for it, but yeah, we're just trying to get further along that line. I find it awful, to be honest. This gun is not the best, the penetration not the best, the damage is pretty poor for tier 6, so it's fairly similar to a Cromwell, but it seems to reload like really long. So much longer than the Cromwell. Anyway, Tiger P. Now, when I first got this tank, I used 3 XP to fully upgrade it, and you know, I just came from the VK3001P. I loved that tank. It was a brilliant tank. I had some phenomenal games in that tank, and then I come to this and it's slow, it's cumbersome, and it's just not fun. But I had to radically change my playstyle with it, instead of you know, doing my normal attack run thing that I did with the VK, I had to switch to a more reserved playstyle, which meant that I started getting really good games in it, and now, sorry to say, it's one of my favorite tier 7 heavies. You know, the AMX M445 was pretty good. I've now completed that. I'm onto the AMX 5100. I just haven't bought it yet. Yeah, that was pretty good. But this gun is phenomenal. I've gone through the front of IS-3s. I've gone like around the side of T-34s, and you know, it's a pretty decent tank. You've just got to warm up to it and get it fully upgraded. And 100% crew is a must. You know, when I first got this tank, I didn't have gold to go to 100%, so I was just sitting there struggling with like an 80% crew, and it's really, really difficult to play this tank without 100%. Anyway, yeah, that's about all I'm going to say on that. I'm just going to skip over the Hummel for now, because I'll do that just before the artillery montage. Centurion 7/1, I've shown a lot of footage of this tank. It is brilliant. I've started to load more HE in this, because you actually find at tier 9, you know, about 105 penetration, is it? Where's the gun stats? Where's the average pen? Yeah, 105 average pen for HE is more than enough to go through the side of a Leopard PTA, more than enough to wreck a WT Alpha Panzer. You know, it's a really, really good tank to use HE with, and then swap to APCR when you're coming up against a more armored target. So I've been using it really, really well lately. You know, getting 2,000 plus damage a game. I haven't been showing it off because I've got so much footage on this channel of this tank. I just didn't want to overpopulate it with this. Anyway, moving on. Again, another tank that I've shown off a lot recently, the Carnarvon. It's a brilliant tank. The gun on it is brill. I've got Brothers in Arms almost trained up on it. I think the reload will go down to just under 7 seconds when Brothers in Arms goes on. This is also without equipment, so if I put like a gun rammer and vents on there, that'll probably take it down to like 6 seconds. So it's looking really good for this tank. It's a really phenomenal tank. I've had some pretty decent games with it, even without equipment. It's just really good, really good. Fast loader, really good pen. Same gun as the Centurion, but it's just got extra weight balancing, making it a tad more accurate. Now, FV304, this artillery isn't actually in the artillery montage I'm going to show you later, because it's a bit difficult to play and I haven't got my head around how to play it yet, so I'll start showing it off once I know how to play it well and I have some decent games to show you. But yeah, it's a decent enough tank. The gun on it is quite damaging, you know, 338 to 563 shell damage, and the arc on it is brilliant. It's got a lovely, like, pretty much straight up, straight down arc, so you can go right over cover, hit something that thinks he's safe. It's really, really nice, but as I said, I just don't know how to play it yet, so I haven't played it enough to know how to play it. Moving on, T71, this is the upgrade to the T21 that I showed on the channel earlier. Autoloader 6-shot, I believe. It's got more pen and more damage than the AMX 1375, but the reload between shells is a bit longer, or at least it feels a bit longer. I don't know whether it actually is. Let's see, reload between shells, actually it's the same, but it just feels longer in this tank for some reason. It might have something to do with the fact I haven't got a 100% trained crew yet, but you know, they're almost there. Again, this has coated optics, ventilation and spore liner to protect it against arty and other ramming damage. You know, light tanks need as much help as they can trying to defend themselves against HE, so spore liner really helps with that. Again, this is the same as the FV304. I've used it a lot, but I haven't got used to the hit and run tactic that I need with this tank. It should be similar to how I play the AMX 1375, but it just isn't. I've been finding it really difficult to play this tank really well, and it doesn't help that whenever you go in a game, you know, 9 times out of 10 you go in a tier 10 game and you're expected to just go and die against the nearest E100, so it's not fun. And here comes my favorite new tank, new favorite tank. I did the Hellcat a while ago. I didn't actually show any videos on it. I wish I did, because I really enjoyed the Hellcat. But more often than not, it made me play better when I got down to like 10% health. I didn't have like anything on it, like adrenaline or anything like that, or you know, Deadeye or something that makes it better when you've got low health. But it just seemed to perform better when I was one shot to everything on the game. So it's very similar to this. I seem to take hits earlier on in the game, and then I start playing more cautiously, and then I start to just play it really well, and then I'm just destroying stuff. It's a really good tank, and I'm having fun with it. Its gun is very accurate. The reload could do with a bit of fine tuning. I thought because it's like a sort of a closed hull, it would allow me to put vents on, but not so much. It's actually, you can see it there, it's got a gap, so it's already ventilated, which means I can't put vents on. So I'm just training up brothers in arms so that I can make the reload that touch a bit faster. Right, having a look at the Hummel now. This is a recently reskinned tank. It's in HD, it's lovely. I've got a mark of excellence on it, even though I severely dislike artillery. You can tell it's a HD model by the rifling in the barrel, you know, and the tracks. The tracks is usually a good way to tell a HD model. Anyway, enough about how it looks. Let's talk about how it performs. The reload time is painful. 27.01 seconds. You'll see it in the montage a bit later. I tried to cut out all the reloads, but yeah, it's a tad painful. Really quite painful. The damage though is lovely. 713 to 1188. In the games I'm about to show you, there's a couple times where I go over 1,000 damage, and it is lovely when it happens, especially against a really heavily armored target that's got a lot of health. And you're just sitting there going, oh, I hope this does something, and then boom, 1,100 damage, and you're like, wow, this is ridiculous. But at the same time, they've done a lot to make sure that arty is not the biggest threat in the game, because you fire, I'm out for 27 seconds. I've got to wait around for 27 seconds. I can only fire 30 shots a game. You know, I only load 18. So if I hit something, I'm hoping to hit big. I could load up HE rounds, which do a fraction more damage. Heat rounds, sorry, do a fraction less damage, but they almost guaranteed a pen. So, but I'd never load it. Yeah, not much more I can say about this. Time for the montage. Hope you all enjoy, and hope to see you on the next one, guys. Peace.
Critical hit. Gotcha. Gotcha. Critical hit. Critical hit. Gotcha. Critical hit. Enemy armor is destroyed. Critical hit. Enemy armor is destroyed. Critical hit. They're knocked out. Critical hit. Enemy vehicle destroyed. Enemy armor is hit.